aesthetics, beauty is a skin-deep game throughout most of the creatures of ARK Survival Evolved, many being owed to their prehistoric or fantastical points of reference, foremost being a tactical decision for the very best chances of outliving your surviving experience. And yet, many of you choose to tame and claim a variety of creatures, lovingly hand-modelled by Wildcard, based entirely on how good they look. So what is the best looking creature? G'day, it's Sir David Attenborough, and welcome to another Top 10 as voted by you. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. In at number 10, the Astrocetus. The monolithic but majestic whale, most certainly heard in space, comes in as our first entry, adopting an almost aberrant shimmer, in fact being 14 eyes across the long-lost flying humpback. Considered a high-tier tame, the Astrocetus floats through the air, shooting cosmic energy from its blowhole, reoxygenating and igniting the whale's speed, with each fin growing and glowing until it slows down, awaiting a majestic warp through hyperspace at a moment's notice. Whilst it possesses a plethora of armory, its skin suggests otherwise, being completely translucent, enabling players to see the insides. A tough tame to own, found on Genesis 1 or 2, but once claimed will encompass any area with its menacing beauty. In at number 9, the Spino. Surprisingly featured, being one of the largest amphibious theropod predators, the Spino is easily distinguishable by its huge colourful dorsal sail, found roaming rivers and swamps. Able to rear its 14 meters onto its hind legs, crocodile-snouted, wielding razor-sharp claws and teeth, the Spino is perhaps the most iconic semi-aquatic creature in ARK, able to approach each habitat like a duck to water, adapted by its small fins adorning the body. A ferocious beast to fell, it can't be questioned there's a hint of glorious pride in its stride, through a trifle less friendly face. In at number 8, the Dodo. Infamously representing extinction as we know it, but iconically championing ARK, the Dodo aimlessly waddles about the beaches and easily identifiable by its large beak and stout round body. This flightless species of pigeon steals many a survivor's heart. Being completely passive, there's a curious vulnerability to the Dodo, an ever-present hope in the face of danger, curiously ignoring before fleeing. And yet, as weak and almost useless as they are, ignoring its early kibble opportunities, there's a yard from players at least once to own a squawking, waddling companion of their own. In at number 7, the Argentavis. Think magnificent bird, and it's hard to not go to the eagle crossed with a vulture. A bird of prey 10 times the size of its kin, boasting a 20-foot massive wingspan, though needed to push every flap to keep one soaring. The feathered flyer is much more than a beautiful bird. Soaring above mountain peaks and various cold climates, the Argentavis is an aggressive predator, sniffing out their prey and able to snatch most at a whim, offering all the comfort to carry both you and other creatures. As a mobile flying powerhouse, it's a wonder how something so fierce can look so friendly. In at number 6, the Fire Wyvern. One of the many Draconis variants in ARK. It's fascinating to find even one is deemed good-looking. Yet here we are, graced with the fire-breathing and perhaps more dragon-like wyvern available. Usually adapting reds and browns, the winged membrane sports an almost burnished gold colour, connected to a back adorned with sharp spines. Spikes protrude in the shape of eyebrows, and horns adorn its skull, clustered by their jaw muscle and all wrapped into an extremely aggressive creature. usually taking flight within the many dragon trenches. Especially so on scorched earth, the elemental breathing, marathon flying beast is seen to be the apex predator, and a majestic one at that. In at number 5, the Yutyrannus. Dubbed once the Fluffy Rex, this aggressive woolly hunter certainly carries an essence of beauty about them. From their long head, rigid snout, and horny eyes boasts a body covered in thick downy feathers, excluding only its hand, feet, and face, and naturally needing considering its habitat. Surviving in the harshest, coldest environments, and almost always leading an entourage of carnos. Without break, they are known to tackle and overwhelm prey in numbers, inducing fear with a piercing roar. A companion to most groups desiring support, the Yutyrannus is by far a required choice, and seeming to be one of the most cuddly creatures around. Who wouldn't want to own this loud mouth? In at number 4, the Dendoncus. Bearing a close resemblance to its raptor relative, the Dendoncus improves aesthetics in every way. Graced with a body of feathers, nimble and fierce, it most certainly puts its appearance to use. With razor-sharp claws, this fiercely territorial foe can pounce and plummet at a whim, climbing and attacking anything brave to approach their nests. And being so versatile, uniquely built, but ultimately brutal against enemies much larger than it, you can't help but admire this wonderful, almost winged beast. In at number 3, the Reaper. Surely a testament of view of what makes a good-looking creature in ARK, where cute and cuddly isn't always the answer. As strong as it bears an ungodly likeness to a giant xenomorph stalking survivors of the Nostromo in both adult and larvae forms, bursting from the stomach of an unfortunate soul, maturing with glowing white eyes and a vicious jaw, roaring acidic saliva. It appears you warped, twisted players out there love this killer queen for its looks. And why not? Begone are the ugly reared heads of prehistoric dinosaurs. Insert shiny, cool in any colour, especially our variants, tail whipping, burrowing, and waiting to kill you alien reapers. In terms of overall feel of riding one, striking both fear and unworthy into your enemies, it's hard to beat a frankly ugly duckling. In at number 2, the Shadowmane. Unsurprisingly, to see so high, the Shadowmane blends together lions and catfish, coated across a frilled, semi-aquatic finned beauty. Coated with slightly aberrant spots, the lionfish lion screams pride to prey, offering a Swiss Army ability, packed creature of buffs and travel, delivered in exquisite taste of ARK's ever-developed creatures. Travelling traditionally in packs, ready to shock and awe in a lightning teleporting reveal, there is very little else that can wow a player by sheer looks alone. And yet, this is only number 2. So, before we get to number 1, let's have a look at the creatures that didn't just make the cut. At number 1, the Rock Drake. Winning the last overall vote, Obi-Wan Steed brings it in again, and admittedly, it's a surprising win from sheer looks alone. But let's break it down. Large, distant Wyvern relative lizard, check. Cuddly feathers, check. Formed to aid a gliding bat wing, crowned Draconis. Most usually sporting a rainbow of colours throughout. Found mainly in bioluminescent and radioactive areas, this hatch-only gem is certainly worth the spoils in both looks and ability, traversing areas with ease, allowing you even more time to catwalk the seemingly best looking creature in ARK Survival Evolved. Thanks all for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, comment below, let me know. My name's David Attenborough. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And as always, peace out.